I was reading as well of so right wine like alcohol is right haram, not supposed to drink any alcohol, right? And so this is kind of a two-parter question, just for an understanding's sake of
Sure.
I would like to know kind of the deeper concept behind that, because my understanding is that it's so it doesn't kind of mess or warp with your head and understanding, and you can't really worship when you're in that state. And then the second part is like just like clarification on that first part, and then the second part is in the Quran it talks about when you get to Jahannam there is a river of wine, and when I asked in Iman about it, he mentioned that it's non-alcoholic and it's made pure. So,
yes.
or sorry, my pronunciation is not very
Jahannam
well.
is hellfire, you know. So I get what you're saying. Yes. Yeah, it's all right. It's no problem. I guess it's an Arabic word, so it's not like your language. So I understand. Yes.
Oh well, thank you.
So you said when what Imam was saying. Yes. You asked him about.
Oh, sorry. He was saying that it was Allah's wine and it was pure and like non-alcoholic.
Sure.
And I was just kind of looking for like clarification on kind of those 2 points.
Sure. Okay. So, all right. First thing we say is the Quran is a revelation of Allah, and meaning revelation of God. And if something is a revelation of God, then God has attributes. One of those attributes is the all-knowing, the all-wise. So by extension, we submit to the commands of Allah, not necessarily due to the explanations of why Allah made that command, because Allah does not need to justify himself to us. So it's not like in a position, okay, imagine when you, even like you have someone saying to his wife, do this, she would probably do it without asking. But imagine, okay, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? We don't have this kind of idea when it comes to the Creator. It's a relationship of subordination. We understand who Allah is, the attributes that He has. He doesn't need to justify or explain, oh, that's why you need to do that. If this was the case, then it would not be a relationship of submission and creation and Creator. So we accept the commands of Allah coming from that aspect first. So I'm saying that is the reason we follow. Now, can we see wisdoms as human beings using our intelligence? Wisdoms of why Allah would make that command? Yes, we can. But we cannot know all the wisdoms, because that is now the Creator's realm. That's not the realm of human beings. But let's see, what wisdoms can we see? Very easy wisdoms. Okay, first, I'll ask you this question. Is alcohol, any amount of it, let's talk about the subject first. Any amount is beneficial for a human being? Any amount?
Nope, all negative.
Sure. So there was a recent study that they published in the Daily Mail and other places that 0.000 amount of alcohol is beneficial for you. Meaning no alcohol is beneficial for you, to put it simply. Refuting that very fake quote-unquote study that was all, some wine is good for your heart, which was there so people can buy wine, essentially. That was why they said it anyway. So there's no amount of alcohol is good for you. Kidney failure, bad for your skin, one of the main causes of cancer. It's just bad for you in every single way possible. It's essentially rotten fruit. You leave the fruit to rot, and then you essentially, that's what it is. People might not want to accept it, but this is the case. It's rotten fruit. You're drinking rotten fruit. So it's not beneficial for you. It is harmful for you as a subject, as an individual. Now, when it comes to the effects of alcohol, is any of the effects of alcohol good for society, other people now?
Definitely not.
Okay, definitely not. So why definitely not? You look, you have domestic abuse in the household. I just watch England when England loses a football match. Look what they do to their wives. You have the study by the UN called Women Abused Every Day, Everywhere, which is only about countries in the Western countries and the US, which shows you the amount of women abused and the abuse that takes place to them. And a big role in that is alcohol, because you're no longer conscious. Alcohol covers your mind. That doesn't mean you're not accountable. You are accountable because you're the one who chose to drink. So you have domestic abuse. You have drinking and driving, killing yourself and people on the road. You have crimes. You have, for example, the Metropolitan Police. They said 60 to 70% of the knife crimes comes from people under influence. Drugs or alcohol doing the same effect, essentially, covering your mind. So you are harming other people because you are not there. You're fighting with other people, harming other people. Harm on a huge societal basis. Now, is that it? No. Alcohol always comes with things which are not good. You drink, you go and gamble. You drink, you commit fornication, and then you have kids, and those kids, you end up, what are you doing? You end up killing them, which they call abortion these days. killing children, essentially. You have this drunk woman that had, intercourse. She didn't use any prevention, pregnancy prevention, and then she ends up being pregnant. It's a mistake, so let me abort. It's like mission abort button, as if it's not a human being or something. So they got these effects in society. Wherever alcohol is linked to it's always something bad. So the alcohol is the mother of all evil for that, because the minute you do it covers your mind, you do everything bad. Yeah. So it is from the work of Satan. That's how Allah Azza wa Jal describes it in the Quran. And that's why Allah says, don't even come near it. Let alone drinking it. Don't even come near it, right? So that is a very basic, I would say, worldview when it comes to the idea of why, like the wisdom, some of the wisdoms. There's many more, but some of the wisdoms we can see as human beings of the prohibition of such a substance. And some people can say, I drink a little bit, I'm not an alcoholic. But nobody starts as an alcoholic. Everyone starts by drinking a little bit. But then you start having bad things in your life, you drink more. And then because alcohol is a drug, you always need more in order for you to go in that state of losing consciousness. You develop tolerance. That's how human bodies are. So you drink more and more. And then you end up becoming an alcoholic. That's how every alcoholic becomes an alcoholic. So you telling me, I'm a responsible drinker. Every alcoholic was a responsible drinker. That's not an argument, basically, from that some people make. Because any amount is harmful for you. Now, when it comes to the alcohol in paradise, Allah explicitly mentions in the Quran that alcohol is not, like alcohol you're going to drink is going to be sour and you're going to be like, making these facial expressions after you drink it, right? That's not going to be that. The alcohol, Allah says in the Quran, it's not going to give you these effects of losing consciousness and mind or the after effects, the hangovers that people have and throwing up every morning, which is another thing you can add to the problems of alcohol list, You're not going to have that in the alcohol of paradise. So anything in the Quran that has the same name of something that exists in this life, it's unlike it in paradise. The Prophet told us whatever is in paradise is what no eyes have seen, what no ear have heard, and what no mind can imagine. So that is no way near the alcohol that we have in this life. Even you have the same term used for it, but it is not that. Because Allah tells us these descriptions that I was just telling you about. So I hope does that make sense?
Absolutely. That made perfect sense, yeah. Is it okay if I